Hello and welcome to the part 3 of this tutorial. So now the first thing we need to do is to fix this little bug that we have here. When we reach the last section, on during the display none for the sections, when we click customize, we can see a blink, like everything disappears and it looks like it is working, but when you exit, you go to the first section instead of the last one. And as you scroll, it starts weird because we are hiding and we are not displaying the sections. What we need to do is to hide the sections instead of like not displaying them. So what I'm going to do, I'm go to the last part of our code here, and then I will just change the display property. Instead of changing the display, I will change the visibility. And instead of saying none, I will say hidden. And then I will say display visible, visibility visible. So now when we save, hopefully we will get it correct. So when you click customize, the sections will disappear, but also the exit button disappeared. So we need to bring like our button back again. So I will make some changes to its class. I will make this like position fixed, and then I will make it align to the bottom 0. So now I can see again the exit button and everything will work. Like we will go to exit and we are in the last section we were. But the problem is we have two problems. The camera, it is not in the correct position. So when we press exit, we need to bring the model back to this camera position. And also we need to hide this button here. So I will do like both of those things at the same time. So by default, the exit button will be like not visible. So I will turn this visibility hidden. By default, we cannot see it. And now back to our code. What I will do, I will create an element here with this button. Up here, I will create a new const or like exit button. And then I will say that this is a HTML element. And now I have access to this property here. I can do something like when we animate the camera and we complete the animations to enable the controllers, I will also display the button. So it is just style.visibility and the property will be visible. And then now that I have this variable with the element, I can replace all of this by just this new variable. And then everything should work except for the camera animation. So let's see. So now I don't see the exit button. When I click on customize, when the animation finishes, I can see the exit button. And then when I exit, I need to remove the button again. So I can do here the exit button dot visibility style dot visibility equals hidden again. And let's see what happens. Customize, you can see the animation, exit, the animation, the exit button has been removed. So now all we need to do is to bring the camera to the drill to the correct position on exit. To do that, all we have to do is to copy those two lines here, paste inside this exit button behavior listener, and then we have to copy the positions for the camera and for the target for the last section. So those are those values. I will just copy and paste them here to reference them here. So those are the numbers for the position, and those are the numbers for target. And then we can remove those because it was just a reference. And now let's see what happens. When we click on customize, we have the camera animation. And when we click exit, we also have the camera animation, and then we can see things. I will make them more like a little bit quicker on exit. Save again. Let's see. Yeah, so customize, it is there. And on exit, the camera, it is like removed the animation. Like for some strange reason, I already can see the hidden exit button, which is weird. It should be removed. Ah, yeah, I can see it because on complete of this animation, I still have the enable controllers. So the button is back again because it is calling this function here. For this animation, I don't need the on update controllers here. So let's save. And now on customize, you can see the animation. On exit, the button has gone. So now everything is working and we are ready. And now let's finally create the configurator. So for it, first we need to have an interface. We need to create another div here to be able to configure our model. So I will do this by create like a very simple div with a container with a unordered list inside of it with three options of color. So like yellow, white, and black for our model. And then I also have a class to remove the styles on this UL list here. So as you can see, when you save, you can see the list here, but it is in the wrong place. So now we need to open the elements like the inspector, and let's change some things here. First, I will make this here position fixed, and then I will make top 50%. And I guess that's it. I can copy all those declarations. I will go to the styles, and then I will make the customizer container. If I wrote that right, just paste, and now the container will be on the correct place. Now I need to change the buttons colors. So we'll create a class for this. And then here I will play with some numbers. So I will get this guy here and I will start by giving it a background color. Let's say black for now, width 30 pixels, height of also 30 pixels, and make border radius. I can say 50 pixels. It is okay to make it round. I'll give it a border of 1 pixel solid white. Let's remove the paddings and let's give a margin. And remember, it is applying only on the first one because I'm only changing in this one, but I will apply this to all the others. Border, and then let's make the cursor pointer when we hover this. So, okay, let's copy those declarations to paste it here. So now we have like 3 and we already have the cursor. Let's make it more fancy. So now what I want to do is to remove this very small here from the unordered list. All I have to do is to copy this class here, and I will make the list style none. So this will remove those guys. And then let's make those colors, because as you can see here, I'm using like a combo class. So I have the default button, but I also have the name for each color that I want. So for each of those colors, I will create like colors for it. And just to make it faster, I will copy and paste the colors. So now you can see only the first one, like it is not okay because we are applying a color here. So I will not apply any color anymore for the first one. And then I guess it will work, or it should work. I don't know why it is displaying in black. I guess it is because I need to, yeah, just to refresh here, because it was considering the change that I made to the element. So now I have those 3 buttons. Let's make it even more fancy. So I will just make like a hover for the button colors. It's just a simple CSS hover effect. And then when you hover, you can see this, but it's like we need a transition. So here I will make a transition for the default transition of all elements in 0.8 seconds. And these, let's see. Yeah, it is seconds, not x. So now it is working, and we already have our, like, mainly our interface. Now what we need to do is to make this container, customizer container, hidden by default, because we only want to see this when we enter on the customize mode. So I will make this visibility hidden, and yeah, we cannot see that anymore. So now what we need to do is to make this visible when we click on customize. So we already know how to do this. We need to grab this reference. Then we go to our JavaScript. Let's create another constant because we need another element. So this will be customizer interface, and this will be all of this again, but this time we will use this name as a reference for our element here. And now what we can do is to use this here when we click on customize. After the animation finishes, like the same what we are using for display the exit button, we will do the same. Customize interface.style.visibility equals visible. And let's all do the same for the exit. When we exit the customizable, we need to make it hidden again. So now if everything it is working, when we click on customize, we can see our interface here, and when we press exit, we cannot see it anymore. Don't worry, because we can like fix this problem that it is happening here with the displaying the elements while the animation is happening. we will fix that in the future. So now we are ready to create the functions to change things in our model when we click on those buttons. So first thing we need to understand is how to get the color from the model. How can we reference for the model part we want to change the color? So let's dive deep into the model viewer editor because you can see the structure of the file, of the GLB file inside your browser. And as you can imagine, every model can have a different way of showing you the parts. So this model here, it is made, when you click on this, you can see the selection. It is made by only one single object. Like here, when you disable it, you cannot see anything because it is made with only one part. Some models have different parts and you can change for each part a different color, can assign a different color. In this case here, it is only one. And what we want after clicking this is to change the color of the material. So in this case, the only material that is applied to this mesh, it is this physical material. And this is its name. It is drill_01. In fact, if I choose the color here, I already can see like it is like black or yellow or red or anything you want. Like you can choose the color here. And I will do this by like simply changing the color. Like in fact, in this case, we have a texture, and this texture already have a color, which is the yellow one. So it is not we are not changing the texture, but we could change the texture just by changing this property map. But what I will do to be faster and to teach you faster, we will change only the color here. But as you can see, when you change the color here, you already can see the change. But the changes are being applied for the map. Like going over the map, and this is the confusion with colors. But I will do this in a simple way. So now that we know the name of the material we want to change, let's go back to our scene here. And what we will do, we will create a reference. This reference must be created after you add the GLB file, because otherwise the reference will be empty. So what we will do is create another const, and this will be like something like drill material, and this will be manager, because this manager holds like everything loaded from the GLB file. Then materials, and these materials can or cannot be ready for us. So maybe we need to add an exclamation here to make it work after loading the model. Then we have a method called findMaterialByName, which is exactly what we want. This is a method from the WebGI interface API. So then we can reference this as our name that we have here in our editor. So the name for this material is this one. I will copy and then I will paste it here. And this returns an array of objects, and we want the first child of this array. So we can place here 0, and we need to type because this is TypeScript. So we need to import this as a mesh standard material 2, because this is the internal name for this. And when you do this, like the VS Code will import this from the WebGI library. So now we have this drill material, and to see if this is correct, we can log. Like, let's put here a console log with this result, and let's see what happens. So as you can see, we have our console log here, and it is working. Like, we have all the properties for that material. So let's test. If I want to change the color, all I have to do is to make the name of the const that I created dot color, because this color is a property of this material, and this property comes from here. All those properties you can see here are the properties for this mesh physical material. So you can change any of them. I will change just the color, and I will make this a new color of red. So FF6000. And then I will save, and hopefully we will get a red drill. Exactly, it is done. So now all we have to do is to make the change for this color happening when we click on those buttons here, instead of happening as we load. So let's remove this console log and also this color change here, but let's keep the reference for the drill material. And now I will create a function to change the color. So I can pass a color to change, and then this will change the material color when we call this function. So let's create function change color. This will receive a color to change. So color to be changed, and this will be a color. The type of this will be a color. This is due the TypeScript, because we are using TypeScript. And now we can do inside this function that drill material.color will be equals to underline color to be changed. And maybe we need to call another method from the viewer, but let's see. So now that we have this, all we have to do is to reference to this button here to call this function. And we already know how to do this. Like, we will do this by referencing it like we reference some elements here, like this button hero and add event listener. I will copy all of that. I will paste it here, and then I will change the reference. So the reference that I want is, let's make the black button first. So it will be all the elements that has button colors black with the black color. So here, instead of referencing to the hero, I will make this all the buttons with the black class applied. We receive a click event listener, and then what I want to do is here I want to change the color. So I will call color change, and then I will pass here a new color like we did before. So this new color will be like, this is the black one. Let's see what I have to do to make this black. I guess it is just to pass like a black. I don't want this full black. So let's try like something like this. A little bit not too darker. This is the color that we want. Let's copy, and then this will be the color to change. So hopefully now when we save, this will be yellow. When we click on customize and click on the black color, it is changed. As you can see, it is not as darker as that one. So maybe we need to make this even darker, or we need to convert the color space. So this color is probably being applied on a linear color space, and we need to change this to a RGB linear color space because it is a different color space. So let's change this. By just placing here, and let's try again. Customize, and then when we click black, yeah, we get it kind of black. It is not total black, but it's kind of black. It is not beautiful because, like I said, this already have a map applied to this object, and if we remove this map, we will remove all the parts that are displayed here, what I don't want. But just to show you, if I want to change this map, this texture, you can set this texture to something else. So all you have to do is to call like Drew material dot map, and let's set this to, for example, undefined. Probably it will not accept undefined as a parameter, I guess. Yeah, it cannot accept. Like, it is doing what we want, but we need to change this map to another thing because map cannot accept undefined as a value. Maybe null. Let's see. Yeah, maybe null. It is a possibility. So customize, and when we click here, like we still can see, because probably this texture is applied to other channels also. But if you come here and remove the image, this is what you probably will get. Like, for something else, the texture is not being removed as I expected. But you can remove this map image using the Three.js default method, and then you can get this type of result. I will not change this. I'm just presenting you how to do the change when you click. So, like, I will not make this white because I guess it is impossible to make this a white texture out of the color only. So I will change this to a red Drew machine. So I will make this color the default color for white. Instead of white will be red. And I will make this presented color something like this. Let's also change here the name, instead of white to be red, just to have something different to change here and to see. So I will repeat the same process. Like, if I want to change to a red color, all I have to do is duplicate this reference. Now I need to reference to the red button, and then I want this reddish color. This will be passed to this function. Let's remove this one because it is not working anyway. And then when we click on customize, you can click on the black one, and also you can click on the red one. And as you can see, the color is changing. So to change to the yellow one, all we have to do is to change this color to a white color. So remember when I said that probably we need to call another method to tell the viewer, the WebGI viewer, that we are changing the color. So as you can see, when I click on the black, nothing happens before I click and drag. And the same for the red. I changed the color, but I can only see when I click. And this is because WebGI optimization, when you change things, if you don't tell that you changed, it will keep the last thing that we saw because of the performance. But all we have to do is to call an external method from the viewer. So viewer.scene.setDirty. This setDirty method tells the viewer that something have been updated. So now when we click on the red, the change is instantaneously happening, which is pretty good. Let's do like the last one for the yellow. It is the same. This is the only weird thing. It is because we are changing the color for the default, which is white in this case, because we have a texture applied to this object. So this will be FFFFFF. And now when we click on customize, you have the reddish, the black, and the yellow that should be white. For some reason, it is not working, probably because I messed up the name. Yeah, like I confused myself. It is saying yellow, but the color is white, so I referenced this wrong. So now it should work. So customize, reddish, yellow, black. And that's it. That concludes this course here. And we've done everything for creating a configurator. And when you exit, like in fact, because we are not changing the model itself, when we go exit, all the page now respects the color that have been changed on the last section. So the model keeps the transformation from the last section. If you want to avoid this, when you press exit, you can make the color go back to the default color. But this is kind of cool that when you change something, when you exit the configurator, your page respects the user choices. So this is pretty cool. And that's it. Congratulations, you finally reached the final part of this course. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you enjoyed as much as I enjoyed doing this with you. Let's keep in touch. You can reach me on Twitter and any other platform I am. And see you on my next course when I will teach you how to control the camera when you click. See you. Bye bye.